Despise not the day of small things. That's a mouthful, ain't it? Small things. You know, I was prepping my cowboy coffee. I have it here. She's all done. And there's her back end. Love. Love, love, love. This is a bittersweet cup to me, you know. Dennis was with me in North Conway, New Hampshire, when I saw this mug, and I said, oh, I know it's ridiculously expensive, but please can I have it? He never said no to me. Well, occasionally, yes, he did say no to me, but this time he didn't, and I cut my cup. He also bought me some wall art. I don't know what I did with that. I have it somewhere. It was beautiful. It was a snowy mountain scene with the... Yeah. I don't know where it is. I don't know where a lot of things are. I need to get back to storage, but that's beside the point. Also, I need to start making a disclaimer that I am not a healthcare professional. I have studied herbology and homeopathy. As a matter of fact, somewhere around here is the rest of my book work, and if I can finish the tests, I get a certificate, which means absolutely nothing, but still. The reason I was thinking of that Bible verse, despise not the day of small beginnings, or something like that, Zechariah, was a sad comment. As you know, I do my comments and I respond to them while I'm making coffee. In the morning, I usually check. And one of my viewers about their mom being sick and being in a, Christian hospital, name, Christ something or other. And can we get angry at God? Yeah. Can we get bitter that things aren't going our way? Sure. But it doesn't help. I can tell you that from my own personal experience. All it does is just leave you dry, just dry. And I don't know why things go the way they do. I don't have an answer, really. I know what all the Christians say. I understand where they're coming from. But it's just hard to reason with suffering. That's a tough one. I think a lot in terms of so many things I've seen in my life, believe me. And my own childhood, I identify with my viewer. I want to say their name, but I can't quite remember it. Maybe I should look on my laptop, because I can't use my phone when I'm filming from my phone, and I really want my new phone. Want to see my new phone? I know I'm going off the bend. Hang on a minute. Samanosuke 214. That's the viewer I'm talking about. Why do I have this Christmas tree? Because it keeps falling over on me. Will you stop already? It was on the couch. When I went to sit down, it just decided to lean on me. Lean on me. Yeah. This is my phone. I refuse to use it. I dropped the darn thing that... That didn't get in my coffee, I hope. This is a very strange morning. I dropped it. Thank God it didn't break. I stuck it on my leg, right? And I was trying to undo the rest of the box to get the little, other things that went with it, and it fell. It's an expensive phone, and I really don't want to wreck it. And I'm notorious. This is my 7th repair phone. And it's not a very good phone, I have to tell you. Oh, good, I have plenty of minutes. It was flashing, and I was worried that it was going to come. I did an earlier one, 5 minutes in, was doing good, and it just stopped because I had a bunch of old videos I forgot to delete because this thing has very little memory. Ugh. Truly, a new phone is just what I needed. And that new blender they got me, so I was trying to mix something that was too thick in my old blender, and it broke. And it totally seized the motor. So that's a good thing because now I do have a blender. But things haven't always been easy. Things haven't always felt like magic, believe you me. 5 years, almost 6, of watching my husband deteriorate and trying everything. The money spent, and I don't despise the money spent. I would have spent down to my last dime in thought and hope that it might fix him. But unfortunately, lungs, I don't know if they can ever be regenerated. They say no, but I don't believe in no to anything, because I believe that the mind and our God is much more powerful than what is known or believed to be known. Because let's face it, guys, science changes their mind every 10 years. I'm sorry, I say that all the time, but it's true. Pluto's a planet. Pluto's not a planet. There's the law of gravity, Newton's law of gravity. Oh, that doesn't work all the time. Make up your minds, okay? If you don't know, just say, I don't know. But don't pretend like you do know. And then tell all the rest of us that that's what we're supposed to believe. I'm sorry, I'm not a believer in stuff or something like that. But yes, back to despising not the day of small things. You know, sometimes we really have to go through the gamut to get to the answer. And sometimes it's not the answer we want. What do you do about that? I don't know. I guess you just roll with the punches. That's what I've had to do. I've had to pick myself up, and that wasn't always easy. You know, I'm fortunate in that Michael is a very positive person. He is my youngest son. And I'm able to go to him and hash things out with him and say, hey, you know, I was thinking about this, I was thinking about that. And he'll have something profound to say. I'm so glad I have profound kids. It makes life interesting. They've become my best friends in their adulthood, you know? And Mike will say something like, about his dad, for instance, and he's heartbroken, believe you me, he's heartbroken. He wanted his father to see his great success. He wanted his father to play baseball, my husband's favorite game, with Finn, my grandson. And for Finn to have gotten to know his grandfather. I don't understand why, except for one thing. And you know, a lot of these writers of what was then called New Thought, and they still have that hanging around, you know, in this world. I don't follow any thought. I read, I think, and I accept what resonates with me. I hold no one on pedestal. Because we're all men, mankind. You know what I'm saying. That was not a gender affirmation, just to let you know. But anyway, what was I saying? What was I saying? I need a real camera, I tell you. I need to be able to go back and remember what I forgot. I'm so sorry. Look, if you're going to be listening, if you're new here, I deeply apologize. You don't have to stay. But, right, we were talking about not despising days. Oh, my son, he said to me, sometimes we will pay the consequences of how we've lived. And the wrong food, too much, anything in excess, not exercising. There are reasons sometimes that we go through the valley of the shadow of death. But we need to try not to be afraid of that valley. I know, in the previous video I was reading some comments and they were breaking my heart. Aging is frightening. You think to yourself, am I going to be all alone? Am I going to wake up one morning and find that I need assistance? That's a really scary thing for those of us who are older, and you're the majority of my viewership. My subscribers is over 60 or 50 and up, you know. I think there's a couple of 40s in there, and I've even had some young women comment in the past. But yeah, I of course am in the senior mindset because I'm a senior. And if you're young and you've come across this strange video, please take care of yourself. Please think about what you put in your mouth. Think about how you move, or if you even move. Take care of yourself today for a better tomorrow, and I tell my kids that all the time. Thank God Bonnie, my youngest, is very active and eats a very clean diet. And for her, I pray for good things. And then the rest of us, we like our treats. Ugh, why? I don't know why, but if you don't give them up, you're going to pay the consequences. For instance, I severely have an allergy to wheat, guys. I love wheat products. Give me bread, crackers, give me cake, cookies. I love it all. I want it all the time. Stop it. And it's a killer. Yeah, it's a killer. I've been watching a lot of videos about longevity because, you know, I wasn't feeling well the last 2 days, so I had an opportunity to look at some healthy type things. And, oh, my back still is not right. I haven't taken my homeopathy today either, but I walked too much. I walked way too much. 3 days of walking, and I was just so excited to be able to walk, especially that day without the cane. Since then, I've needed a cane. But I'm not giving up because I'm not going to despise that day of small things. I walked without a cane, and I kept saying to myself, strong, straight, and sure. I just kept that vision, strong, straight, and sure. I need to take that vision back. And what? I don't know. I just want to say, I know it's frightening to age. I know we're wondering what's going to happen to us. Suffering is my biggest fear. I don't want to suffer. I kind of suffer every day though, but that's okay. I mean, I don't want to. I wish we could just all, you know, when our time has come, why can't we just go to sleep and not wake up? That would be easy. That's how Denny wanted to go. He'd say to me every night, please pray I die in my sleep. But he didn't. What am I going to do? I'm not quite sure. I think about it a lot. I do. I've thought a lot about my mortality. And then I came across Florence Scovel Shin's thing in The Power of the Spoken Word. And she said, we need to have the vision of youth, of health, of eternity. So I'm trying to do that. Is it easy when I have this stabbing knife in my back? No, it's not easy. I have to sit back down with that book, just like Michael does. He still has his headphones on when he's doing the dishes for Maggie. He's listening to his favorite book, The Science of Getting Rich. And he's listening to Wallace D. Wattles, who was a visionary for his time. He wrote that book in 1910. He'd been practicing it 10 years previous, and in 1911 he died. So he died at the age of 50-something, and Florence Scovel Shinn died in her 60 to early 60s. So can we say that it doesn't work? No, we can't say that. Why? Because Wallace Wattles wrote The Science of Being Well, but he had a disease they didn't understand and they didn't find, hookworm, and he starved to death. A horrible, horrible thing. His daughter Florence Wattles, though the real name was, what was the real name? I can't remember. Walters. But under Florence Wattles, she writes to the publisher of her father's books and tells the story of his life and of his death and how he fought to the end to live. Was God there? Yeah, I believe God was there. And sometimes we suffer a horrible thing, and sometimes those of us left behind really suffer that horrible thing. Because let's face it, when our loved one moves on to bigger and better things, we're left with that void. It's a void, and it's a terrible feeling. That beautiful soul is missing from this earth. Where have they gone? I believe we go on because energy, supposedly, according to science, they'll change their mind about that. But I believe this one because I feel it. I feel that energy continues. I felt his energy that night in that trailer after his death. Michael felt it too. And Michael didn't want to leave, as he wanted to bask in his father's spirit. And then he had to go. Isn't it funny? It was about 3 days, and then he kissed me goodbye in the clouds. And yet, I feel this veil between us, but I know he's watching over us. I know he tries to influence God and the angels. Perhaps he still has his own angel. I believe we all have one. But great things have happened since he passed. Great things. Not at first. I remember crying out that day. "Danny," I said, "help us. You've got to talk to somebody." And then I talked to the Father. "God, please. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm scared. I feel forlorn and forgotten." And everything was about to change. Meanwhile, at the same time, Michael was at the end of his rope. And he picked up that book for I don't know how many times he had read that. And he said, "This time I'm going to follow it exactly as written." And as he said to me, "Mom, I don't always follow it exactly, but I do my best." And he's done very well. And it's changed everyone's lives. Despise not the day of small things. Every little thing matters. We need to ask. You have to ask. You can't get what you want if you don't ask. I don't care if your God is my God. I believe God is God, okay? Everything I see, everything around me is God. And I'm a part of Him. That's beautiful. We're spiritual beings. Of course He cares for us. I try to remember the little sparrows that He said, not one of them falls off a tree that I don't see and know about. How much more do I care for you? It's nice to think of God as a loving God, a caring God. I know a lot of people think of Him as a vengeful God, an angry God. If you have children, or say you have a pet, do you get angry with them if they chew up your best shoes, for instance? Or, if you have a kid, hopefully they're not chewing on your shoes, but I'm talking about, just so you can relate, your child does something really stupid. Do we want to say, that's it, I'm gonna throw you in a burning flame of eternity? No. Usually the child is sorry, or little dog puts his little tail between his legs and backs up, right? We have compassion for their shortcomings, for their failings, because we're human too and we get it. And God sees us and knows us. And I believe He has compassion too. People talk about hell. Well, it seems to me that the Bible is pretty clear that hell is reserved for the fallen angels. And Jesus said that God promised Him He would not lose even one of His own. And I believe we are His own. Mankind. And He's not going to, as my mother said, God's gonna strike you dead. Burn your tongue, burn your eyes out. Ma, I hope you've changed your mind. I'm sure she's laughing. Oh, Nikki. No. My God is a God of love and compassion and understanding. Does that mean I'm going to go out and steal a bunch of stuff and oh, God forgives me? No. I want to be the best Nikki I can be. I want to make God proud. I'm going to stand firm and sure. Because I haven't always stood firm and sure. There are times I've been a crumpled up mass of unhappiness, sadness, fear, anger. Oh, I have a temper. Yep. Vengeance. Vengeance is mine, saith the Nikki. But it can't be. It can't be that way. Because I don't think with a sound mind. And then I have to apologize to God. I'm so sorry I thought that. I'm so sorry. Please help me not to think that ever again. Like my crazy neighbor. It does make life a challenge, doesn't it? Yes. So what is my point in this video? We won't always get what we want. It won't always be the way we think it ought to be. But we have to find the small miracles in every day, in our lives, in the lives around us. And we gotta have hope. Gotta continue with hope. Because this life is short and fleeting. Here and gone. Here and gone. Just like that. People suffer terrible, terrible things in this world. my heart breaks. I don't want to turn on the news. It's devastating, frightening. But I have to believe that God has my back. I believe it. And I press onward. Will my leg and hip ever get better? I don't know. Without surgery? I don't know. Do I believe it can? And so I'm going to walk in that belief. I'm going to walk in the belief that I will tweak my life enough to recover. That's what I want. And I got to get way more serious today on what I'm eating, because I have not been good. No. I've not been where I ought to be. And today I will recommit myself to doing better. That's all God wants. Try harder. Lean on Him. Believe in the miracle. Maybe I should have called it the miraculous marshmallow, but it's still marshmallow. I always loved those Nabisco pinwheels. I was going down the hall to leave, and this lovely little old woman who lives here, I know I'm old too, but she's older, she had, oh, you've got to try one of these pinwheels. I said, oh, I love those, but I got to tell you, I've already been really naughty, and I can't. But thank you for offering. Oh, they look so good. And then, to really rub it in, one was left on a napkin on the table when I came back that night, so she gave most of them away. She lost an incredible amount of weight once she moved in here. Isn't that something? I was 200 and something pounds, and now I'm 124. I'm like, wow, how did you do that? She said, just, walk in the hall. She walks around with her little walker. Sweet little thing. I like her. Bless her heart. Yep. That's a neighbor I like. But of course she doesn't live next to me, so I'm not hearing her banging around. These are very thin walls here, and it's tough. My neighbor upstairs ended up in the hospital. I don't know if she's home yet. I haven't heard a thing. I haven't heard a dog barking. That's an oddity, too. Usually her dog is always barking this time of day, especially if she leaves. And if she's not there, where's her dog? Maybe a neighbor took it. I hope so. Well, anyway, oh my gosh, if she comes back from the hospital, that means that her family's going to come visit again, and they are the Clydesdale horses. Clydesdale horses? No. No. But yes, they'll probably be coming to visit. That's okay, because you know why? I have the vision, and oh my gosh, I've almost gone to 30 minutes. I have the vision of my own cottage on a piece of land with privacy. And I'm going to hold that vision until it becomes reality. It's going to be a cute little cottage, just big enough for me and for occasional guests. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, but small. That's what I want. And a front and back porch, so that on beautiful days I can just step right outside my door and sit and watch nature. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? You have a vision too, and hold it. Believe it. And I believe it will happen for you. Yes, truly, there are miracles, and I'm just going to continue to believe in the miracles. Do I wish my Denny were with me to enjoy it? Yes, but I believe he's enjoying something much greater than this. And he's probably laughing every time I miss him. And he can't wait for me to join him there. But until my time is over, I'm here, and you're here, and let's make the most of this beautiful day. Oh, it's gorgeous out today. A little bit of a breeze and blue skies, and no snow on the ground. Hallelujah. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye. Come on, you.